What's happening, guys? Cap over here, and welcome to the semifinals of the SBN in the playoffs. Oh my gosh, we're in the playoffs once more. This week we're going to be going against OmegaJolteon, coach of the Chicago Carracostas, and the only man to have handed us a loss in the season. So we both share a game, one apart. This is our third game this season. And what better way to break the tie than in the playoffs? The team that wins goes into the championship, and the team that doesn't does not. So be sure to smash the like button, sub to the channel, and let's try to pray and hope that we can break that curse, going already 3-0 or 0-3 in the playoffs. We want to get at least one W throughout the season, or throughout our league or draft league seasons, I guess. So hopefully we can bring that up and get a W over here. But before we get into the team matchups and all that gooey and nice fun stuff, be sure to cue in that intro. Alright, so today he's bringing Golurk, Bronzong, Weavile, Arcanium, and OmegaJolteon Qwilfish. So he did not bring in his MVP of the season, the Kartana, which is fantastic for me because I did not bring in my MVP of the season, the Cryogenal. I brought in a much more sort of team that you sort of would have predicted. I brought in Ditto because I was so afraid of Kartana, OmegaJolteon, Weavile, things that can sweep, and Ditto has a really good matchup. If I can copy Weavile, I can knock off so many things, Poison Jab so many things, because I'm predicting he has Poison Jab, not Icicle Crash, Ice Shard, Knockoff, and Poison Jab. Scizor's just a Choice Banded variant, does a lot of damage to Golurk, Bronzong, Weavile, OmegaJolteon. It's a good mon in this matchup. Charizard X is just a defensive set with a bit of attack investment. Earthquake is really good for Arcanine. Arcanine is something that I was really afraid of because last battle it really put in a lot of work. A Roar variant set with just Flamethrower, Dragon Pulse, and whatnot. So I was really scared of that too. Qwilfish always puts in a lot of work. Qwilfish has been brought in all 3 matches, and that's something that I was afraid of because that thing can stack up spikes. I do not have a hazard removal. And seeing Bronzong, Qwilfish on the same team, I'm like, oh boy, we're going to be getting hazard stacked up. So hopefully I can get a lot of damage off before that happens. And that was sort of my thought process, was I had to play offensive. I had to make those predictions, and I had to make sure hazards did not go on. Or if they did go on, he would have to pay a price to put those on. So that was sort of my game plan into this battle. Keldeo has an incredible matchup. If I can get a prediction on OmegaJolteon or take OmegaJolteon down, Keldeo could really switch the tide. So luckily for us, we do have an incredible matchup in terms of this battle. Even though we've played 3 times, my team matches up really well against his. So I can't use that excuse if we do lose. If we win, that's fantastic because that proves that team matchups are really great onto my hand. And I don't have to play as well in terms of, if a team wasn't like in my favor, then I don't have to play as well. So right away, I see that hazards are going to be a thing, and I'm like, alright, I got to prevent that. Scizor prevents that because if it's Golurk, then Knockoff. If it's Bronzong, Knockoff. If it's Qwilfish, I don't think he would lead off with Qwilfish because going from last battle, Keldeo put in a lot of work. So I was sort of leaning towards OmegaJolteon. That would have been the perfect scenario, or even Qwilfish or Bronzong or even Golurk. That would have given me a lot of information. So I'm not going to lead it with Keldeo because it's too logical in that sense. So I'm going to lead it with Mega Scizor because it makes sense to me. And he ends up leading with Pillow Peg, which is awesome for me, but I'm going to make a double over here because Bullet Punch does not one-hit KO. I do not want to lose Scizor right away. So I make a double here, going to Scizor as he goes, or I just make a switch, not a double, going ahead of myself. So this was bad for me because Qwilfish can set up spikes. That's something I did not want, and making that switch was bad because looking back at it, I'm like, why did I switch in Florius? Even right now, looking at the replay, it didn't make sense to me. Bad play on my end. So that forces me to switch out because Qwilfish can easily set up spikes, and free spikes pretty much, free spikes. So I have to go into Cough, and at this point I realized, oh snap, he's going to be making spikes, and he can actually put on 3 layers of spikes at this point because Hex does not 3-hit KO the Qwilfish depending on his investments. I think it's a roll for the 3-hit KO, but either way he can put up hazards, and that's not good for me because as those are going to stay, and that really puts in a lot of, that puts in a damper on my hopes. It really does. So at this point I'm like, oh boy. Oh boy, here we go. Turn 1 and 2 and 3 did not do any damage. I'm not playing offensive like I should be and like my game plan was. And that costed me spikes, which is bad. That's a bad price to play for playing so defensive. So I have to switch out into my pony over here, and this, once again, I can't do any damage. Turn 4, still no damage. and he gets first hit on turn 4. So I'm already on my back heel right now, still fumbling around the game, and that's not good. This is a offensive variant, or especially offensive variant, and that does a lot of damage to Florges, considering after the spikes and whatnot. So once again, like I said, after spikes and the hyper voice, I have to switch out, because I have to recover. So that forces me to play more defensive, and that's something I do not want. Taco Bell coming in means that he's most likely on a set of Stealth Rocks, and I did not want that. Taco Bell sets up rocks and he stays in. I wasn't predicting that. I was sort of predicting to go for Earthquake or Gyro Ball, but he ends up just going for Toxic, and I'm like, oh boy. Now I have to get Florges in here and go for a Heal Bell and really put a lot of pressure on Florges itself, and this game's not really looking that hot for me. So I go for an Earthquake, making a prediction into Doggo, and I'm like, cool, that's awesome. But as you can tell, he's faster than me, and I'm like, oh snap, Doggo's faster. That's not good. That is not good. That Earthquake is doing a lot of damage considering I'm -1, but I'm stuck in here with Fire Spin and Toxic. I'm losing Charizard X over here, and I'm like, Charizard X, come on. This is not good. This is not good at all, because Charizard X was a big mon for this battle, and losing it this turn, yeah, it's not good. Like the sequence of events, not good for it. Ultimately, I decide, you know what, it's going to go down. I have to try to get as much damage as I can. Getting only 33% is not good at all. No, 33%, yeah. Or 23%, that's bad. That's a bad trade-off. So I make an aggressive play over here. I go for Icy Wind, figuring that, you know, Arcanine can't do a lot. And I get rewarded for that prediction. Once again, Keldeo gets an Icy Wind off of Pillow Pet, and I'm like, alright, cool. Did the calculations, it does not take it down, but I was predicting that it's going to go for Roost. And that's 2 predictions that I want. But I miss. Man, that was rough. That was really, really rough, because that's a 5% chance to miss. And what do you know, the game of RNG and Pokemon gets me this time, and I don't get rewarded. Now this forces me to make another defensive switch, and as you can tell, the theme of this battle is I'm forced to play defensive a lot. Whether it be OmegaJolteon playing aggressive or setting up spikes, or me just making a bad play or misplaying, or even missing an Icy Wind. And I'm like, oh boy, how did I miss Icy Wind? I did not even know Icy Wind could miss. You learn something new every day over there. So at this point, I'm like, I can still win the game, but it's going to be a lot harder. I have to go for Synthesis or something like that. I end up just going for, I do believe, Synthesis, just to recover up. And I know I can't win this battle. If I was a Calm Mind variant, then I could win it, maybe. Calm Mind actually puts in a lot of work at this point, so I'm like, okay, I'm getting poisoned again. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Getting that poison. And I'm gonna like, oh, there's a virus over there. So I end up going for the Surf because I have to make a safe play. I figured, you know what, I made a prediction last time. He might stay in, but I decided to sack off Keldeo here because ultimately I thought, you know what, it might have been the better play. It wasn't. It really, really wasn't. So at that point, I have to go into Scizor, and I have to go for either a knockoff Bull Punch or something like that. And he just goes right into Bumbledoggo. And as you can tell right now, I'm not looking so hot. I'm thinking through my head, how can I win this game? How can I win this game? How can I bring it back? How can I KO Mons? And it's looking really, really glum because Bumbledoggo is putting in a lot of work. Bumbledoggo is the only thing that won't allow me to win this game because Florges, Scizor, and all those mons don't do anything to it. Florges potentially being the only mon that could, but he has a lot of answers to that, and without setup, I can't do a lot of damage to a lot of his mons. Even though Bronzong is burnt, I still can't do a lot. So without Calm Mind, I cannot win this battle. I don't know if he has Poison Jab on Qwilfish, just because I haven't seen a lot of Qwilfish, what it could potentially do. So right now, I'm regretting a lot of things on my team building and whatnot, regretting not having Calm Mind. And as you can tell, right now, I just have to play this. This goes on for a while, but ultimately leads to Raffle Coffin going down because Poison or Pain Split is not doing a lot. Poison is doing a lot more damage. And as you can tell, it goes on for quite some time. Quite some time. Luckily, I do live on 1 HP over there. I get this Doggo at 33%, which is fantastic. I think he realizes that, yeah, he can't beat me out with Morning Suns. And I just have to go into Scizor, go for the Bull Punch. At this point, I realize I don't win the game because Rafflecoffin going down and Bubble Doggo not going down. Not good. And I do sort of make a prediction at this point, but at what cost, right? At what cost do I make the prediction? As you can tell, he does have the Poison Jab, it does 49%. Even with the Calm Mind, it would have been a weird battle. It would have been me going for a Synthesis, Poison Jab. Moonblast does a lot of damage, so I might have been able to win that battle just looking back at it. But yeah, right now the battle is not going well at all for me. As you can tell, about to get 6-0 swept, but I do get the flinch, which is fantastic, and he does not switch out. And I avoid the sweep in the playoffs, which is fantastic because that would have been the... that would have been bad. That would have been bad. I don't even outspeed this Weavile with the Choice Scarf, so Weavile's slow, or Quillfish is slow, and we lose the match. And I'm not gonna lie, I was disappointed and a bit upset because, you know, this is the 4th loss in a row in the playoffs for me throughout my career of playoffs and whatnot. And I was upset. I was disappointed because, you know, like I said, I'm a human being and I do want to win. I'm competitive, and ultimately I felt like I had a really good team that could go and make a really good playoff push, but I'm gonna call it the curse of the Kapino or something like that. Come through and we lose 5-0. Not even bad, not even bad. So GG to OmegaJolteon. And he played a fantastic game. He really did. Bringing in things like Fire Spin, Toxic, Arcanine, Quillfish, and setting up hit all his hazards. He knew what he had to do to win, and he performed it phenomenally. And yeah, I had no answers to a lot of things. I could not build up a lot of momentum. The Icy Wind miss, it sucked. I don't think it was a game changer. It just really made it a lot more harder for me to get a W or to win. It definitely didn't help me out, but it just wasn't the game changer that I think it might have been. Unless if I got the crit, then Bob's your uncle, right? Bob's your uncle. So now the thank you part. So this could go on for a while. It's gonna get a bit cheesy. Feel free to tab out and just listen to me and just explain my things and whatnot. So thank you to everyone in the SBN so much. It was incredibly hard. I'm just gonna pull up the SBN chat right here. Let's see, the SBN chat. I always forget to mention names and whatnot, and I'm really bad for that. So I just want to thank Hera for everything that he's done in the league, inviting me and really putting it upon his shoulders to make the league what it is. This has been an incredible community and gathering all the people. I really do enjoy the community. Brick, Todd, as much as Todd has been there for, and just everyone in the league, all the people that I've met. Everyone's really friendly, and I really do enjoy the league in terms of who's there and whatnot. So thank you to everyone, and thank you to OmegaJolteon. As much as it sounds weird for thanking the person that's beaten you twice in a season, he's the man that actually has made sure that I prepped every game, played out every game, that I could not have an off season. He made, or an off day or an off week. He made it hard for me to clinch #1 in the SBN, and you got to be thankful for that, for having a person that challenges you like that and makes sure that you play every week so well and so good. So thank you so much for that. It's what made the league a lot more fun because, you know, I had to play out every week because otherwise I wouldn't have gone to bye. So thank you so much for that. And yeah, it is. So my thought process in terms of the SBN, and thank you to all you fans out there of the SBN and the Toronto SwaBlu Jays. I really do appreciate you guys showing up every week, clicking that like button. I swear, I think on average it's like 8 to 10 likes. It doesn't sound like a lot, but for a channel of my size, it means so much for me because it's just encouraging to see that support and the people who view and click on your channel and take time out of the days to watch you play Pokemon. So thank you so much for that. I really do appreciate it. Like I said before, I'm pretty sure on average the views are like 50 or somewhere around there. Likes are around 8 to 10. So I always get so excited when I upload these videos. And that's why I'm not so salty about the loss of the playoffs, because ultimately OmegaJolteon did deserve it a lot more than I did. And I know you guys are going to be awesome and support me either way. Give me a bit of a hard time because of that of that loss, but hey, you live and learn, right? And yeah, so ultimately I was gonna be like, no, I don't want to join another season because I want to join more leagues that uploaded, and I was doing too many leagues, and yeah, my joy of leagues was sort of going down. But as soon as I typed it out, I was like, I'm not going to join in for another season because of my reasons, right? I regretted it, and I got some incredible support in people wanting me to join back again. I know even in like other leagues, they're like, oh, Cap, why aren't you joining us again? And people from this league was like, oh, hey, Cap, you should join this other league, the SBN, go over here and we can battle again. And I was blown away. Like, I was really blown away with the support and the want for myself to come back into the SBN. And I just like looked at all the stats, I looked at the support, and I could not say I'm not gonna return because it was so hard. Especially like it was so hard. It was really so hard. Like this week I just had regrets not joining another league because of the community. It was incredible. So ultimately I decided, you know what, I'm going to talk to Hera. If Hera says it's okay, and if it's not too much trouble, I don't want to be the guy that causes all the trouble for a league to, you know, have headaches and whatnot. I want it to be a seamless transition for me to join in and not have that, you know, people that are like, oh, well, we can't find any more people because of Cap. I don't want that. And I wanted to make sure that with Hera it was okay with. So I talked to Hera and he's like, yeah, it's okay. We actually have enough people to join in. People have been asking, they want to join in. So I'm like, I would really love to join for another season of SBN. People have made it so hard. They've made it so hard to say no. So we're going to be back for another season because of you guys wanting to come back in the SBN for the viewerships or not for the viewership, for the people of Cap and Crump. Soon to be changed. What? Drop that news bomb right there. So for all the people at the SBN, for all the people that watch and tune in for the SBN, for the Toronto SwaBlu Jays, and I'm coming back for it because you guys have really wanted it back, and I really do appreciate that and take that in account. So thank you so much again to Hera and all the mods of the SBN for having me back and for creating the SBN. I'm excited to be back, and hopefully next season we can have a good season and ultimately try to make it further in the playoffs. So I'll see you guys next season. Thank you so much once again for the season, the support, and everything you guys could possibly give to me. Thank you so much. So catch you around for season 2.